Good evening, sir. Today's story is on Mother Hole. So let's start today's story. Once upon a time, there lived a widow in a village. She had two daughters. The elder daughter was called Stella. Stella was very kind and hardworking. The younger daughter, Bella, was rude and lazy, but the woman loved her younger daughter, for she was her own daughter. The elder one was her stepdaughter. So she would make Stella do all day like a servant in the house. She says, Stella, finish all this work. You are still to go out and spin yarn. Bella, come here, my dear. You must be hungry. Have something? Stella quickly finished all the housework and went out to spin yarn. Every day the stepmother would send her near the village well to spin yarn, and Stella would spin until her hands bled. A parrot lived next to that. Stella would speak to him while spinning yarn. One day while she was spinning, her fingers began to bleed and the blood stained the spindle. She kept the spindle on the well to clean it and began to draw water when the spindle fell into the well. No, the spindle has fallen into the well, she says. What do I do now? If mother finds out, she'll be furious. Stella trying very hard, but she could not get the spindle out. She ran home and said to her stepmother, Mother, the spindle has fallen into the well. Why didn't you fall into the well instead of the spindle? The mother says. Now where will I get more? Go and get it out. Don't you return without the spindle, the mother says. Then, crying to herself, Stella went back to the well. She had already tried all she could to get the spindle out of the well. So, not knowing what else she could possibly do, Stella herself jumped into the well. When she opened her eyes, she was herself in a grassy field. The sun was shining brightly and there were lovely flowers everywhere. Where am I? She said to herself. What a beautiful place this is. What a fine fragrance. Stella walked ahead, and at a distance she saw a bakery. There were loaves of bread in the oven. The loaves were calling out. It was as if that was some kind of magical land. Get us out, or else we will burn. We have been baking for a long time. Someone get us out, they say. Stella heard the loaves and removed them from the oven. They say thank you to Stella. Stella went further and she saw an apple tree. The tree too was speaking. All my apples are ripe. Please someone pluck them and eat them or else they will all rot. Stella heard the tree speak and she could not bear the pain of the tree. As soon as she started shaking the tree, the apples began to fall to the ground like rain. Stella kept shaking the tree till the last apple fell. Then she gathered all apples to one side and went away. As she continued walking, she reached a hut where she saw an old woman. The woman had such hornless teeth. The Stella got scared, and as soon as she turned to run away from there, the old man called out to her, Don't be afraid of me, my child. If you look after my house well, you can stay here. I shall give you everything, the old woman says. In return, you simply have to ensure that each day when you make my bed, you cover it with feathers, just as the ground is covered with snow after snowfall. And yes, everyone calls me Mother Hole. Mother Hole spoke to her so lovingly that Stella agreed to stay with her. Stella looked after the house very well, and each day she would make Mother Hole exactly as Mother Hole had said to her. Mother Hole too loved Stella very much and would give her lovely food to eat. Stella stayed there for some time and then she started missing her home. Mother Hole is so kind to me. She takes such good care of me, but I'm missing my own home. Stella was very happy with Mother Hole, but now she thought it was time she went back. So one day she said to Mother Hole, I wish to go back home. I can't stay here any longer, she says. I am happy that you wish to go back home. You have worked very sincerely. I am very happy with you. I shall drop you to your home myself. Mother Hole says, really? Thank you, Mother Hole, Stella replies. Mother Hole took Stella's hand and led her to a huge door made of gold. The door opened. The moment Stella crossed the threshold of the door, it began to rain gold over her, and before she knew it, she was dressed in gold from head to toe. This is your reward for serving me with such love, Mother Hole says, and here your spindle that you have dropped in the well. Stella could not help wondering whether all this was real or simply a dream. She had never got so much love from anyone in her entire life. She cried tears of joy. Then the door closed, and Stella saw that she was standing near the well outside her stepmother's home. As soon as he saw, the parrot came and sat on Stella's shoulder and said to her, here she is, your daughter, as pure as gold. She has returned. The parrot kept saying this over and over again. When Stella entered the house, her stepmother and Bella were shocked to see her, for she was laden from head to toe with gold. They happily asked her to come in. Stella, my dear, where did you go? The mother asks. I was so worried about you. And where did you get this from? Stella told them everything. On hearing her story, the stepmother's heart became wrought with greed. Wow, so much gold! If I send Bella too over there, I shall become very, very rich. Just like Stella, the stepmother sent Bella to her spinning yarn to the well. Bella pricked her own finger with a thorn, and that it would bleed. She put the blood of the spindle and threw it into the well, and then jumped into the well herself. Like Stella, her eyes too opened in a grassy field. She got up and walked ahead. She reached the bakery. The loaves of bread in the oven were shouting, get us out, or else we shall burn. We have been baking for a long time. Someone get us out, they said. Are you crazy? Bella says. Why should I dirty my hands for you? Bella spoke thus and moved on. She then reached the apple tree. All my apples are ripe. Please, someone pluck on them and eat them, or else they will all rot. Are you crazy? Why should I pluck them? What if an apple falls on my head? She spoke rudely to the tree too and simply moved on. Finally, she reached Mother Hole's home. She had heard of her horrendous state from Stella. So, without getting scared, she herself asked Mother Hole for work. Mother Hole, I have heard you need someone to work for you. Please let me have a job. Mother Hole explained all the work to her and told her how she wanted feathers to be laid on her bed each day. On the first day, Bella obeyed Mother Hole, but then from the next day she started stalling. On the third day, she did nothing. Eventually, she began sleeping the entire day, and she even ignored the instruction of scattering feathers on Mother Hole's bed. Seeing no feathers on her bed, Mother Hole was furious. She went to Bella and said to her, I think you must now go back home. Mother Hole says to Bella. Bella was elated to hear this. She thought she would now get gold. Mother Hole took her to the golden door. As soon as Bella crossed the threshold of the door, instead of gold, it rained muck on her. This is your reward for kind of work you have done. The mother Hole says. The doors closed and she returned home. The parrot saw her and sitting on the well he began calling out, "Here she is, your daughter as ugly as muck. She has returned." That is why it is said that even imitation needs brain. Like Stella, Bella did manage to reach Mother Holy's hut, but because of her laziness and her habit of styling work, she brought home muck instead of gold. So, from this story, we learn that we must be sincere and honest in whatever we do. So, today, this is the story, and laziness is not everything which you think, but you have to be kind to everyone and make someone's wishes true, or you have to help others frequently. Thank you.